Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and welcome to Tuesday's Virtual Coffee and a Card. This month, for the month of November, I am featuring the Arctic Bears bundle. And let's take a look. Here we go. So, this is the stamp set, Arctic Bears, and I love it. It's a beautiful line image. That polar bear just looks so noble, and the cub looks so cute. And birds are always wonderful to use in so many cards. So it's really nice. What I like about this stamp set is that it is a winter stamp set, but it can be used for Christmas, but it doesn't have to be used for Christmas. And the dies that go with it are also quite awesome. So here's the stamp set, and here are the dies. So this one does kind of like a water effect. This one does icicles. Then we've got Mama or Papa Bear, baby bear, and then we have an outline of an adult bear. It's really nice. Then we have an iceberg. Let's see, I'm running out of room. And a moon or a sun. And then we have this long die that is like for a snowbank or something. I'll show you. You can layer them to create a snowy effect. So that's really nice. I love this. And I have made 5 cards for my kit. So I have some kits left over if you haven't gotten a kit yet. They are $25, including postage anywhere in Canada. And now we're going to get started. We're going to start with this stamp and this one. And I have already, have a look at my kit. Oh, here we go. It's right in front of my face. I've already stamped the polar bear. So in your kit, you will get a piece of white paper that will stamp out the polar bear. I cannot include stamped images, okay? So I recommend, of course, that you get the bundle. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make these cards. 2 strips of polka dot paper, 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 to go right across the card. A scrap of Coastal Cabana. I think it's about, I shouldn't guess, 1.5 inches. And then I just made it long enough so that it would work for the Stamparatus. The most important piece is this piece of shimmery white, which is 3 3/4 by 5.5. And the whole thing goes on a card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. So we're going to start by making our scene. Oh, I should show you the card. Oh, here's the card that we're going to be making. So I actually cased this card right out of the catalog. It's beautiful watercolor and a bit of masking and some sponging. So I've made this card a couple of times and I've learned the right order of things. Yeah, with no further ado, we are going to get started. So I'm going to grab a big block to put our scene on. Now with this piece, you want to make sure that your water is horizontal. Your cliffs, your icebergs or mountains or whatever they are leaning a little bit. You want your water to be straight. There we go. And we're going to stamp with StazOn ink because we're going to be watercoloring. So StazOn will not bleed. My StazOn is a little bit old and I don't have any re-inker, so I'm doing a little bit of what I call the twist and shout technique. I'm not shouting, I only shout if it's dry. So we want to go in about 1 inch and close, and I actually should put my piece of paper straight, have this straight, and I'm going up near the top. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do the little small one, just as a continuation of the shoreline. So that's going to go down here and about there. And I went off a little bit, and you see how my water isn't perfect? It's kind of going up a little bit. It's because I'm kind of stamping off to the side and not, it's not like I'm doing it under my camera, so that's my excuse, but I'm leaving it. So now I have made a mask with a piece of sticky note, and it's going to go like so. I'm covering that up. So I just stamped it on my sticky note. Actually, I have another one here. This one's better. You can kind of see there. And I'm covering up my stamped image so that I can do the sky. And I also want to go across this way for the water. There. And now we're going to take a sponge, a blending brush, and we're going to start with So Saffron. Okay? And the important thing when you're blending is that you start off your page, okay? Because you don't want blobs on your card. So start off in little circular motions, and there we go. And I'm going to go right across the top. And now we're just going to add a little bit of Calypso Coral for a bit of a sunrise effect. There we go. And again, start off. Yeah, that's looking good. There. I think I like that. So in my other cards, I did this step after I did the water, and then I had to wait to do it because I had to wait for the water to dry. So this is a much better way to do it. So now I've got a water pen, and I did this card for a class last week, and we used the old aqua painters, and a few people had this water brush, and the people with the water painter did better. It's got a nicer tip. So there's also a little thing here, a little indentation that says push. If you want to get more water, you want to push on that. But other than that, you don't have to push a lot. I'm just going to clean my brush. Get the water started on your hand. That's what I do. Now I've got to dry it off. I've got black pants on. It's all good. So I'm just going to clean my brush a little bit. What I want to do, maybe I should grab another brush. This one's dirty. I did this yesterday. I want to draw a bay. So I'm going to do that. Maybe it'll be helpful that my brush is a little bit colored. I'll be able to see my lines. So there's my bay. And now I want to wet my watercolor paper, not watercolor paper, my shimmery white cardstock. The nice thing about using shimmery white cardstock is that the shimmer comes through in your card. It's also cheaper than watercolor paper. So I think it's great. And you know what? I was looking, oh, there it is. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I can change my story. Coastal Cabana for the water. And you just take a block and you press it in, and then you have an ink pad. So now you're just going to make a nice little wash. And I'm just going to change my orientation. Oh, I need more water. Squeeze. There. Oh, got lots of water now. There. And that line that we made serves as a barrier. The water will not go past that. So I'm just making a wash, not worrying too much about how it all goes, and then I'll add some more later. There. It's when you get those drops that you get those nice effects that you want. I am no watercoloring expert, but this card is always beautiful. There. And then while this dries, there, I'm going to bring it right up to the bay here. And this wasn't my idea. I cased it straight out of the catalog. So that's the nice thing, that use your catalog as an idea book. There. And then if you get too much running off, I'm going to do a little bit more. Oops. There we go. Squeeze. I'm not squeezing in the right place. There we go. Squeeze, and you see the water come out. There, that's what I wanted. That look. There, that's what gives you. There, I'm just turning it a little bit, manipulating it. And then a Kleenex just to dab up my extra water. There. So now I'm just going to lay this aside, let it dry, and we are going to work on our card. So I have my white card base, and I'm going to use some liquid adhesive. And before I go any further, I'm going to close my ink pads. Have you ever left your ink pads open and slammed your hand right into it and had an inky mess? Yeah, it happens. Okay, so now we're going to take these strips and put them right on the top of the card. This is a great way to save on paper. When you have a pattern paper background, you don't have to cover up your whole card. You can just cut strips. Oh, my. If your Tombow is plugged a little bit, there's probably just a little bit of dry adhesive on the tip. There. So yeah, this paper, in case you're wondering where it's from Playful Patterns? Pattern Party. And it is a host set that you can get if you place a $200 order or if you have a workshop. Now, with the possibilities of gathering again and meeting and being normal, it's a great time to host a workshop. So let me know if you want an in-person workshop. Let me know if you want to do a virtual workshop with Zoom. I can mail the kits, or you can order a kit and we can have fun online. There are so many possibilities. The other thing I forgot to mention is that if you look on the bottom right-hand corner of the video on YouTube, there's a red button that says subscribe. Please subscribe. I would like that so much. Okay, so now we're going to take our banner. And the other thing that's helpful is if you give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, because YouTube will promote my video a little bit more when that happens. So I have my little piece over here, and I have a magnet. And now I have this saying already on here. It's from the Angels of Peace set. Let me show you here. I didn't want to make another thank you card. The thank you comes from the Arctic Bears, but you can mix and match stamp sets. It's not a bad idea at all. I'm going to do this one in Memento because I have it. I've packed up my early espresso ink pad already to take to my parents. So this video is being recorded because I'm going to Fergus. My dad, that looks good. My dad, I think he has pneumonia again, so he is on antibiotics. So I thought, you know what, I need to go and spend time. So I'm just going to use some scissors. I could use a trimmer, I guess. Yeah. Do you remember this cute little trimmer that we had a couple of years ago for a host gift? No, a signing up bonus? I kept it. It's quite wonderful. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. There. And now it is at about 1 5/8. And what I'm going to do is just cut it into a little banner. So to do that, you just go straight up the middle, and then from the corner to the middle. And I'm keeping this banner fairly short and squat so it doesn't interfere with my bear. So here we have it. It's not perfectly dry yet, so I'm going to be very careful. You know what? I'm actually going to pause this video and I'm going to speed up the process with a heat gun, okay? Just for the interest of time. Okay, take a peek. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. Everyone is different. What I like the best about this particular one is the double line here on the shoreline. So watercoloring is really addictive because every card is different. You can't predict it perfectly. So we're going to add some liquid adhesive to the back. And then the reason I love the liquid adhesive so much is for two reasons. Number one, it gives you wiggle room to move your card around, to reposition. And number two, it has really good staying power. Your card will not fall apart over time. There. And I'm just going to, I see I have a little bit of an edge here. Well, you know what? It's okay. So now I'm just going to lay my pieces to see how I want them to go. Oh, I forgot one thing. The bear needs to be balanced. He needs to be grounded. So take a look. If you look at the finished card, the bear needs something to stand on. So there is a stamp for that, thankfully. And the birds. Those are two really important things. So here, I have to get a piece of magnet to go in here. Okay. So there's the birds, and there is the snow. So let's do that. Oh, there's my memento. Perfect. We'll do the birds first. Tap, tap. And I'm thinking like so. Nice. And now the snow. So before I do the snow, I like to lay my bear on where it's going to go. So I'm putting the words over here and the bear over here. Yeah. So, and I'm just kind of guessing a little bit here and here. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna, oh yeah, it's on there already. I forgot. Oh, all right. And I'm gonna pop the bear up. And I also decided not to put ribbon in behind the banner. I like it without the ribbon. But you have ribbon in your kit, so do with it what you like. There. And now the bear is going to be popped up with some dimensionals. So it's actually not a difficult card. You just have to have a little bit of patience for your watercolors to dry. And it's fun to draw that bay. And it's amazing what a difference that makes, just to make a scene with your stamps. There we have him. There, beautiful. So there's the one without the ribbon, and here it is with the ribbon. So both are nice, and you can see how the watercoloring is different on both, but beautiful nonetheless. If you want to see the rest of the cards that we're going to be doing, here they are. This one has the tree from Peaceful Place paper, and you can see how the snow is layered here. Now, I took this card from Holland and it got a little messed up in my suitcase. This one reminds me of Northern Lights. Also has watercolor on the bottom. This one has the bear die, and then the last card has the two polar bear cubs. Isn't that cute? All right. So I just want to thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I love reading your comments. Yeah, have a super day. And I just end my video with this so you can check out my blog or my website if you want to shop. I always put a list of my products underneath the description of the video, so you can click on those links as well. And someone did ask me if I would write a PDF for these cards, and yes, that is the plan. So take care, have a super day, and I'll see you next week, Tuesday.